G-Man Boxing. Do you know what I mean? Every single live he donates. I see him on other lives donating. He's got the bag on it.
Alright, people. There's an image of Deontay Wilder, which is doing the rounds now on social media, where he is in the gym. He's next to Michael Hunter, Francis Ngannou, who was also in the camp with him as well. But specifically, it's the Hunter image. So, as we all know, Deontay Wilder is getting back into the gym now. We've seen a few pics of him with Badu Jack, obviously Hunter and Ngannou. So, he is on the comeback trail. Now, there's been no formal announcement about a fight date, anything like that. Realistically, you would have assumed August, going off the bad loss. The bad loss is to Tyson Fury. You would imagine that he would need quite a bit of time off to recuperate. You'd imagine that anyway, especially given the fact that there were two bad defeats, took a lot of punishment in it, especially the third one, which was a real devastating knockout defeat. He would need plenty of time off. So he's back in the gym now, planning to come back. But the interesting thing I want to talk about is the weight that Deontay Wilder appears to be at. Now, obviously, he's not released any weight that he's weighing in at, but if you look at him in them pics, and if you compare him to the Wilder who fought Fury in the rematch and the trilogy fight, he is looking slimmer. I mean, Wilder's always had very thin legs. He's always had a very thin frame. So when people look at his legs, they say, look how skinny his legs are. They've always been skinny. It's not really anything new with Deontay Wilder. He's a very lanky sort of character, very just tall and long, always been very skinny, but it's those sort of fighters who do tend to normally be the hardest punchers. I mean, Deontay Wilder, he's not as good technically as Thomas Hearns, but he's basically a heavyweight Tommy Hearns. You know, very similar built, a lot taller, long arms, tremendous right hand puncher. Tommy Hearns was just better all round than Deontay Wilder, you know, in every aspect. You know, punching power, they both had tremendous. I mean, Tommy Hearns, he went from welterweight all the way up to cruiserweight, and he was still knocking people out with one shot. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, Tommy Hearns. But Wilder, as I said, looks a lot slimmer. Now, Deontay Wilder, it always struck me as weird. You know, he talked about it for a while, that he wanted to put on extra muscle. You know, he always would speak about that. I remember he said it going into the Povetkin fight that never happened. He was trying to put extra muscle on. For the Fury rematch, he finally did put the muscle on. I think he was in the 230s. And that was the first time he'd ever weighed in the 230s. And to me, that was just a recipe for disaster right there. Because Deontay Wilder is a naturally skinny guy. You know, he is not a big unit. He is not someone naturally designed to be carrying around a lot of muscle. And with Deontay Wilder, he always struck me as someone where if he just stuck to kind of boxing training and did a little bit of strength training on the side, he'd probably come in the 215s, in the 2 teens, as opposed to the 220s, because that's probably what his natural body weight is. You know, he could probably maintain that just by doing normal boxing training. Whereas I feel for both Fury fights, he just decided focus a lot on sparring, whatever, but focus on weight, pack it on size. And you've seen it in, especially the third fight. You know, you've really seen it, even in the second fight as well. First round, getting a bit tough, throwing some jabs, he's blowing. Now, Wilder's always been someone, especially when he was in the 2 teens, who he could do the rounds. You know, stamina was something people questioned Deontay Wilder early in his career, because he wasn't going the rounds. You know, he got to 32-0, 32 KOs. He'd never gone past the fourth round. So people questioned his stamina then because we just didn't know. But he's since proved, can do the rounds no problem. Yeah, the fights aren't fought at a frantic pace. But he's been blowing after only a round or two. And he's not even fighting at a frantic pace in those fights. So I never understood why he felt compelled to put the muscle on, to put the extra weight on. And all the time I've been watching boxing, and then looking through the history of boxing, more so heavyweights, I don't think there's ever been a situation where a fighter has put on excess muscle. Now, understand, I'm not talking about a fighter coming in heavier in terms of, you know, weight, just in general weight. Like, so if you look at Tyson Fury and you say, well, gee, look at Fury, you know, he put on extra weight. Some people say muscle, but it was weight. He put on, you know, excess weight for the Deontay Wilder fight and the trilogy fight, and he was still heavy enough in the Dillian White fight, didn't do him any issues. With Tyson Fury, right, when he was weighing against Otto Wallin in the 250s, same against Deontay Wilder in the first fight, as far as I'm concerned, at that point, Tyson Fury was trying to get the fat off, was trying to get the weight that he put on in his hiatus off, right? When he was coming in the 270s, that's just Tyson Fury as he probably, his body naturally would be. So it's not him putting on unnecessary amounts of weight. As far as I'm concerned, that is probably him at his ideal optimum weight. But if you look at Deontay Wilder, I mean, we'll just talk about this. If you look at the fights when he was at the start of his reign as WBC heavyweight champion, when he was weighing in the mid 220s and the high 220s, and I think it was against Melina Duapas, he weighed that similar as well against Spilka. Well, he didn't look particularly good in those fights. Yeah, he got the job done, but the level of the caliber of the opponent, you would expect him to get the job done, but he looked a little bit slower. He definitely didn't seem to have as much spring in his step. And, you know, I think with Deontay Wilder, a lot of people would often make comments about the fact that he was so light, that, you know, the fact that he's 6'7" and he was weighing the 210s, which is what some cruiserweights weigh on fight night. Maybe subconsciously that got to Wilder a bit, and he started thinking, because, you know, Deontay Wilder doesn't strike me as being the sharpest. Maybe he was thinking, you know, I need to be bigger. You know, these guys, the AJs, the Furies, the Klitschko's, you know, the Joyces, the Whites, they're all in the 240s, 250s. I mean, why shouldn't I be? You know, and again, I say I've never seen a fighter who's just put on unnecessary muscle look any better. Because at the end of the day, your body is not designed to be that way. You know, you look at David Haye, terrible stamina, even at cruiserweight. His body isn't designed to have all that muscle on it. Yeah, it looks nice aesthetically, but your frame is designed to carry you as you are. So if Deontay Wilder at 215, if he can maintain that by just doing normal training, his body is well designed, his lungs are designed to carry him at that weight. You start going and putting on excess muscle, it ain't going to help you. Not going to help you throw a harder shot, right? And your body is going to be like, I'm having to carry all this extra weight. I'm tired. I'm flipping tired. Yeah, it was easy to do this when I was 15 pounds lighter, 20 pounds lighter, and I'm used to being able to carry that. But the extra 20 pounds, I'm going to get tired. You know, so I've never seen it benefit a fighter. So if Deontay Wilder is planning to come back, and he's coming back at a weight that's optimum for him and his body, I reckon between 210 to 215. You know, against Fury, it was the first fight. I think he weighed like 212. Very low. It was like 212, 211. Bear in mind, I think, didn't he have trousers on, and didn't he have a mask on? And not a muzzle, I mean an actual mask, like the bronze bomber mask. So you got to imagine that would have added an extra couple of, maybe 2 pounds, maybe 3, give or take. Don't know how much they weighed. But if they added extra weight, he could have been weighing for the Tyson Fury first fight as low as 209. I mean, imagine there are cruiserweights on fight night, right, who weigh that in the ring. And Deontay Wilder was probably weighing that, having done no weight cut at all. So Deontay Wilder is a naturally skinny, light fighter. And I think for him to bring out the best in himself, that might not be there anymore. You know, he is going on 37. He's had 2 bad losses to Tyson Fury. So the old Wilder might not be there, but we might still have a semblance of him. And I think for him to get close to that semblance, he needs to be at a lighter weight. He needs to. So if he is looking as slim as he looks in them, and it's legit, and it translates to him being back down to 2 teens, I hope I'm not rambling on. I sometimes do that. But you get what I'm saying. I hope we see Deontay Wilder, when he comes back, be at a nice lightweight, because I think that's going to suit him best. It's going to be best for him. And I just think he'll have more energy at that weight, a little bit lighter weights. Because, again, it's not like he's trying to get, you know, kind of fat off him to just look aesthetically better. It's not like that. Wilder is. I've never seen Deontay Wilder remotely out of shape or carrying an ounce of fat on him. So he put on all that weight for nothing more than show, as far as I'm concerned, thinking it would benefit him when it was never gonna. You know, and I think his team should have really known that. They really should have known that it was never going to benefit him. So, interesting. We will watch Deontay Wilder closely. As I said, I'm looking forward to seeing him come back. I think he's tremendous. You know, I mean, like, I love watching Wilder fight. He's been for many, many, many years, even prior to him being champion, one of my favourite fighters to watch live. You know, I just love watching him. You never know what is going to happen with Deontay Wilder. It's just so much fun to watch him. You know, it really, really, really is. It's just so much fun to watch Deontay Wilder. And yeah, I'm always happy. Whenever he's fighting, no matter who it is, no matter how boring the first few rounds might be, you just don't know when that right hand is going to land. That's why I like watching Deontay Wilder. So we'll wait and see who he comes back against. I suspect, just probably think it's going to be probably someone like Hellenius or someone like that. But we'll wait and see. For now, I'll leave it there. Before I finish, right, I was talking a bit in the Joseph Parker video I did about him and Joe Joyce, about the new stand I have, and I still have it in this angle, because I'm recording this not long after doing that video. I haven't done a night session of recordings in a while. You know, I normally just kind of stick to review midweek and then whatever. So this is the first time in a while I've done a couple of videos in a night, so I'm recording to have plenty in stock. But I'm using this new, I think it's Endurex, I think it's called. I'll probably link it in the comment section. But I get people emailing me, messaging me on Twitter, just saying, look, I'm thinking of starting my own YouTube channel. I might go on camera, I might not. It kind of depends, but what equipment do you use? And I don't even remember the original stand, which, as I said, I still have it. It was about 25 quid on Amazon. I can't even remember what it's called. I got it 3 years ago. Now, it's done me well. It's stood the test of time. It's seen many rooms up and down the country and in the UK, but it's seen better days. It's seen better days. I'm looking for something more professional. And I showed a picture of the stand briefly in that video. And that was the stand as I have it now, where it's on basically up 2 legs, basically, you know, up. Well, if you look on screen, you'll see just the comparison when it's at its full length compared to the old stand. And if you think that's how it always is, if you see it in the next clip, how small it can be, how easy, because you get a bag to carry it in with, so you'll be a proper look professional if you're going to any event or something like that. And honestly, I said it once, I'll say it again, I think the original stand I got, which I used for the last 3 years, was 25 quid. This was only, 8 quid dearer, plus delivery. And look what you get for just 8 quid. You know, I mean, it's quite crazy when you think about it. So, again, starting up a YouTube channel, for those wondering, I mean, some ask about editing software. You know, for the documentaries, I have someone doing that for me, which I'm very thankful for. Dan, he's a great guy, and, you know, I'd be lost only without him. I mean, I really would. You know, he's a great editor. For the actual videos that we do here, iMovies, just preference, nice and easy, user-friendly. Boy, yeah, Mike, I have 2 of them. I have this one, which I've been using for, again, nearly 3 years. I have another one over there, which was the original one I used. That's just not compatible with these newer iPhones. So that's a proper old little kind of in thing like that. The new one is kind of a port. So I don't really use that one anymore. I don't know, I might even sell that one because I haven't used it in a while. Sometimes if I was ever doing a stream with a laptop, I'd plug it in for that. But other than that, I never use it. But they were only about 25 quid each on Amazon. So nice and cheap and cheerful. Again, iMovies is free if you're using a Mac or using an iPhone. If you're using a Samsung or Galaxy or something, well, they're both the same. But if you're using an Android or if you're using, you know, Windows, I mean, Sony Vega, I mean, you can't really complain with that. If you can find a way to get a free version of it, that'd be the best idea. But that's user friendly. It's very user friendly. So it's a good one to use for editing videos, whether you're going on camera or you're not going on camera, either or really. It's just pretty straightforward to use. So there, like, because people always kind of message me and say, look, I'm looking to start my channel. Do you have any tips? Do you have any this? Do you have any that? And, like, I'll help out anyone. But, like, I always find it, like, crazy when, like, people are like to me, like, I'm doing YouTube videos, I have a YouTube channel, you know, will you shout me out because it's just not working? I'm like, okay, let's have a look. 2 videos. It's like, mate, you got it. Come on. Right, come on. Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's boxing, so it's a real niche kind of thing. So you can't expect to just do 2 videos, boom, 1,000 subs. Just, it doesn't work like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. You know, it took me ages to get 1,000 subs. And that, once you get 1,000 subs, it does tend to speed up a good bit. Certainly YouTube. Certainly I noticed that, and other people have noticed that when you hit 1,000 subs, it tends to speed up. And then they say when you hit 10k, which is what I'm trying to do, you hit even more. You Yeah, long-winded video about Deontay Wilder. But just I said I'd leave this for the end. If anyone wants to listen, they've already listened to it. But yeah, that's kind of the setup as it is. So obviously we're looking a lot more professional with the stand. I have to get a few other things sorted as well. But look, we're in the right direction. We're on our way to getting to these shows a lot more. As I said, like I've got ExpressVPN looking after the channel, which is good, but I have to kind of look and maybe see if I can get other sponsors to come on board. I've thought about doing memberships on the channel, maybe just to help support it. I don't know if I do that or not, or Patreon or something. So I want to give something back. I don't want to just say someone, can you help donate, and support like me going over to these events. I want to give something back as well. So that's why I'm looking at doing the crime stories again. That's just so time consuming, it's crazy. But look, we're looking down every avenue. So long-winded video about Deontay Wilder. I go off on a ramble. I rambled the whole way through it. But people say they like listening to us chat for long. So, heyo, there you go. You got a bit of Wilder and you got a bit of rambling. But if anyone is looking to start a YouTube channel or has one, needs advice or anything like that, I've got nearly 9k subs, so I must be doing something right. So if you want, reach out. Email is there, Twitter is there at BoxingGman, DM me, whatever you need to do. I'll always give a hand out, because I know, believe me, I think if Ade and me spoke in February 2019 when I was just literally starting out, and I think that if that never happened, I'd probably have binned it after about 2 or 3 months, seriously, because I had Ade like helping me, and that was motivating me and seeing how good he was doing at the time. And like, I'm actually at a similar position to where he was when he helped me out first. I mean, I think he just was on the cusp of 10k, or he just got 10k, one or the other. So yeah, a similar position now than he was then. We all saw what happened to Ade, so who knows. But I'll leave that there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you could, subscribe because you haven't already. I'll talk to you people.